when you go to the prison, you need to work on getting your GED. And they have plenty of trades that you can learn so you can come out and not do this again. Because when you think about it, I've read this, you committed a robbery, right? All right, who's on Jesse Lasoya?
We're ready, Judge.
Because we just had one where there was a scratch and then a circle and nobody knew what they were meaning. Zach is leaving us. My mom is gonna be, where's that? It's hitting hard.
I'll listen, yes.
But Sean, we should do that and do a montage
End of the road.
where he was just learning to walk. Then now he's running.
You want to know a funny story, Judge?
Sure.
So his first trial, I'm on the jury panel.
That's true. My very first ever, never done voir dire, not once in my entire life. Wasn't an intern, didn't do criminal work. I had never seen a jury. And this man was juror number 6.
Juror number 6. And I got struck by both the defense and the state.
It was Judge Michael Denton from Travis County.
Oh, wow.
And Greg the whole time was making my life so difficult. He was like, wrong. And I was like, wow.
No,
I suck
I
at
was
this.
incognito. I knew.
You know, when I was swearing in the jury downstairs, an attorney wanted, people come with you with different excuses. And he comes up to me, he says, I'm an attorney. So could you go ahead and excuse me because no one's going to pick me? And you know what I said?
I'm waiting. Nothing.
I said, oh, thank you. Let them know as you go through to the
I got
next
you.
phase.
I
You can
got
tell the next person, excuse me, I'm an attorney. No, but it's like, if I were called up for jury duty, I wouldn't say, hey, I'm an attorney. I'd be like, yes, I'm here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Eddie Garcia was the other attorney, so I think they understood. I was fair and impartial, but I was extremely skeptical.
You know who was on a jury trial where I was doing voir dire?
Where?
As a prosecutor?
No.
Judge Barry.
Oh,
That's
wow.
correct. That's pretty cool. So that's right.
It's like, hey. And I was like, hey. All right.
He did an amazing job,
Oh,
for the record, as his attorney.
Are we on the record?
we're on the record. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 007264, State of Texas versus Jesse Anthony Lasoya. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Greg Desmarais?
And are you Mr. Lasoya?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Judge.
And did you review it with your clients?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lasoya, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? All right. Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of robbery? Normally, the range of punishment for robbery is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? The state is proceeding on a repeater count. If the state presents evidence to the court that the repeater paragraph in the indictment is true, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into this plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Losoya, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
You seem very smiley at those points.
I gotta keep a smile no matter what I'm going
Yes.
through. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's a good thing to do. All right, court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. You'd agree that you've been convicted of one or more felonies for purposes of enhancement. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, there's to be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense of robbery, how do you plead? True,
No
I'm going guilty
contest.
or not guilty or no contest.
No contest.
And to the enhancement, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
State any evidence.
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. The court will find the enhancement to true based upon your plea or true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client has been very cooperative in this. He's taken responsibility, and we ask that you follow the plea bargain.
All right. All right, the court will follow your plea. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. And there's to be no contact with the complainant.
Thank you, Judge.
Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
26 years old.
All right, you're 26. Do you want to live the rest of your life in prison?
No.
All right, and what's up with the tattoos on the face?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Did you do them?
No.
What's the
Somebody else did
tattoo on the face right
Oh, that's my son's name.
All
now?
right.
Zayden?
Yeah, that's my son's name.
All right, so here's the thing, when you're trying to obtain employment, sometimes people will look at you and say, hey, who's this guy with tattoos on his face? Maybe we don't want him working here. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
10th grade.
All right, so when you go to the prison, you need to work on getting your GED, and they have plenty of trades that you can learn so you can come out and not do this again. Because when you think about it, I've read this, you committed a robbery, right? And guess what? You only got $5. So what has just happened to you right now is for every dollar you took, you've
I did.
traded
I
a year.
did do it though.
But here's the thing, you traded a year. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Court is calling 2024 CR 2912, State of Texas versus Refugio Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense,
Monica Guerrero for Mr. Rodriguez, Your Honor.
and this is an application probation.
It is, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Judge.
Did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Rodriguez, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense, assault causing bodily injury, a class A misdemeanor.
No objection.
All right, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family violence as a class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bear County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bear County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes to both questions.
Mr. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
What's that, ma'am?
The plea bargain page, what your agreement is with the state, did you
Yes.
review that with your attorney?
Ma'am.
And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury as a class A misdemeanor, family violence. Punishments be assessed at 1 year in the Bear County Jail. The state recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence and parenting classes. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be no harmful or injurious contact with the complaining witness. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states 1 and attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Right, did you review the document wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. States exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. So,
Judge, it was a plea bargain for 1/2.
oh, 1/2, because I have the document he signed was for deferred or community supervision, but I see your plea is 1/2.
Correct.
So this is what I want to ask. Number one, what's the result of the CPS case?
The child is with him. This is his biological grandchild. It's an incident from 2020. She was continually running away and there was a little bit of perceived excessive discipline on her behalf. His wife is also charged. They're going to be dismissing that case.
Okay.
But the child is living with him. And I don't believe the biological parents are involved.
All right. So how long since this incident has the child been living with him?
She was 6 years old when we first got her.
No. I mean, since this incident,
Somebody's in the back.
since this assault.
The same, that was 22, right after that, a couple of months, they brought her back.
So she was only out of the house for a little bit.
Yes,
All right. So is the CPS case closed?
Yes.
State CPS case closed?
That's my understanding as well, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. And so she is living with them?
Yes, Your Honor.
She is 16 now.
She's 16. Okay.
she's going to school, so that's what mattered to me, going to school.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes,
the court is inclined to offer you a deferred adjudication. Off the record, I've been told that your criminal history is almost non-existent, really. But if I offer you deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, I want you to know that I could sentence, I know I've told you this before, but I want you to know that I could sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Your agreement with the state is for a conviction.
yes, ma'am.
So do you wish to have the conviction or deferred?
No,
Deferred or the conviction?
deeper.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to an affirmative finding of family violence. I'm going to ask for parenting classes, but probation, if parenting classes have been previously completed under CPS, that will be deemed satisfied. I'm going to ask for field visits one time for 3 months. And probation, if you'll make sure they have a chance to check on the teenagers in the household and talk to them separately to see that everything is okay. And then it will be at probation's discretion. There should be no harmful or injurious contact with Star Rodriguez. And off the record, both parties told me that this is a case that occurred in
2022.
2020. And of course, it's only recently come to this court. So it occurred in 2020. It was indicted in 2024. My understanding from both parties is that Child Protective Services closed this case. And in order to close the case, Mr. Rodriguez had to complete parenting classes. From reading the state stipulation, it appears that the child's mother, who was released from prison, was allowed to see her child. And then after she saw her child, that's when issues would arise. Am I correct
That
in
is
my
accurate.
rendition?
That is accurate.
All right. Court is going to sentence you to 6 months deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. And there's to be regular random UAs, 80 hours of community service restitution. And if it's shown that he's completed parenting classes, then that would be deemed satisfied. Are you employed or retired?
Retirement.
All right. From what? What were you doing?
Northside School District.
Okay. All right, probation. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I was asking probation, but I
Oh.
appreciate you for saying there's nothing. Is there anything else you want me to add to his conditions?
I was gonna ask if you could lower the probation fees. Because he's on a fixed income, Him and his wife, they just live off of social security in a small
All
retirement.
right, so what will he need to do legally? He'll have to speak with probation about that, and if he does an affidavit of indigency, then the court could work with that.
Okay.
All right. Did you review, is there anything else you need from the court?
No,
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
And did you sign it?
yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
No.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Just remain in the courtroom. Probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I see the file on Lucy Rodriguez?
Then she right there, you know,
What's that?
you sit there in my first bench or whatever.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 006918, State of Texas versus Luis Alfredo Contreras. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Greg Gamer Ray?
All right, and are you Mr. Contreras?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Contreras, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We don't waive either of the association. I believe it's habitual, Judge, but either way, they're.
All right, so you're waiving the entire enhancement allegation paragraphs?
Yes.
All right. Any objection?
No objection.
Did you review the court admonishments document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he was, Your Honor.
Mr. Contreras, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you were represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 1 year, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but that most importantly will be no live testimony? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Do you wish to proceed with sentencing?
We do, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I do, Your Honor. He has been wonderful. He's accepted responsibility. It's me that looks at this kind of case and I'm like, I got to do more. What can I do? Yes, he's a habitual. He understands that. He recognizes that. But the case in front of you, Judge, he takes full responsibility. But as I pointed out to the DA, it is 0.1 gram of cocaine. Still counts, possession less than a gram. It was crossing a street without the crosswalk. And so everything meets the elements, but just from I don't do this enough, Judge, but in my sense is a year just. And so we agreed, but I'm just asking you to maybe give him 6 months, Your Honor, in this case, knowing his history, knowing that he's taken responsibility, but just the idea that with this case in front of you, I believe that would be a little more of a just sentence.
All right, state. Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. I'll order the therapeutic community and the court will sentence you to 9 months in the state jail facility
Thank you, Judge.
and give you credit for any time served. And I'll note for the record, I read the police report, and yes, he was crossing the street. And he did immediately admit to the officer what the drug was and told the officer he didn't need to test it. From what I'm reading the police report and based upon the laboratory reports, it appears that this was for most definitely for personal use and not for selling.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. This case, as a habitual case, it's really 2 to 20, right? So your attorney did a very good job for you. And I think the state was very just in the offer that they gave you. So I realize that you have drug habit issues. You need to take care of that. How old are you?
38.
All right, you're 38. So here's the thing. Sometimes people, well, normally people who sell drugs, they want a repeat customer. But if you're not a repeat customer, it's fine because they'll just go on to the next person. You do not want to be that person on the news who somebody is identifying their body in a field. You understand? So I recommended the therapeutic community for you based upon your criminal history. I don't know if they're going to give it to you or not. However, you need to ask for it. And when you're released from the state jail facility, if you can't find a place for inpatient treatment, you can come back here. If I'm here, I'll direct you to some place where you can go.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And what's up with all these facial tattoos?
After my
they
last client, I
painful?
went, I said, you're in trouble.
Are they painful?
Some of
All right.
Jack,
So-
you're
Thank
seeing
you.
the face that
Thank
you've
you.
seen, everything.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
mean,
very much.
Mhm. Sure.
Yeah, you can. You can. You can.
All right.
If you're not allowed to.
So let's not do that anymore,
yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
And no more facial tattoos. I don't have a problem with it, but for some people, that's going to limit your ability to get employment.
Yeah, they look
Okay.
at you different. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Otherwise, you're going to have to put on a bunch of concealer.
Thank
Oh.
you.
All right. Good luck to
Yeah,
you. All
All
right.
right,
you
let me
too.
give you this copy.
Thank you. Court is calling 2022 CR 9439, State of Texas versus Richard Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Tatum.
Defense.
Larry Meadows for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I understood it.
Are you the same Richard Gonzalez who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 9439 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram on October 20th, 2022 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Richard Gonzalez did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2022 and January 2023 in violation of condition number 4 state waives the remaining violation allegation.
With regard to that allegation, number 4, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 1 year in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Um, true. Yeah, I just wanted to.
No, my question
Yes,
is,
ma'am, true.
knowing that I could sentence you up to 1 year in the state jail facility, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. And you understand that the court does not have to follow any agreement that maybe your attorney has reached with the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there a proposed agreement?
I believe so, Your Honor, to extend supervision for 2 years, alter and amend to add the substance abuse treatment facility followed by aftercare treatment through Bear County CSCD, TAP outpatient treatment program, monthly UAs, and documented weekly sober support meetings as directed by the court.
All right. What is it done on probation?
I didn't have anything like I couldn't be there at the house that I was at. That's why I didn't stay there.
Mhm.
They had kicked me out. I didn't mean to come over here like this. I should have came in person.
No. Why didn't you report to probation? You want to raise your right hand?
Yeah, I
Do
really,
you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, Your Honor.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Richard Gonzalez.
All right, what is up with the ring on his finger? Is that allowed?
This is my rings, the ones that I was in.
I'm sorry, what?
The ones that I had on when I was in brought from custody.
Oh, so they can wear rings at the jail? My understanding that's
I
considered.
didn't, they didn't take it off. I could, you know.
No. I'm just saying that, isn't that considered contraband? He has on 3 rings. One of them
That's kind
appears
of,
to,
you know, they didn't take it off at the intake. I mean, but when you get back, you probably put it in my property.
all right, one appears to have a diamond in it, but I
It
don't,
does? I
Well,
didn't see that.
Your Honor, perhaps they're not able to remove the.
Yeah, this one was, I couldn't get this one off, but probably now they can, because when I came in, it was kind of slow.
okay. All right, these are just questions I'm curious about.
That's fine.
So
yeah.
why were you not reporting?
I just didn't report because I didn't have a place to go to. I was like kind of like freaked out on it. You know what I mean?
So did you think of taking the via bus to probation?
No, Your Honor, I didn't. I just went to the house and they said I couldn't be there. I was from my understanding, the last time when you had spoke to me about the probation, did you put her on a restraining order so that way I could probate there? Because I got a new address I could
No,
report.
there
to.
was not supposed to be any contact. And what is the plastic in your,
Oh,
you
it's-
just coming over here with all sorts of
No,
things.
I didn't see it in there. I just threw on my.
No, what's in your pocket?
This is from the soup, and then this is from my mom's address.
So he's bringing soup from the
No, I'm
jail
not
and
bringing soup.
greens?
No, I didn't. I just threw on my.
Just add water. Okay.
Just that one. No, yeah.
All right. So what is with the 36 on your face?
This is just back in the day, back when I was in high school. I promise you on that.
Mhm.
I've been to myself. I don't.
And the dollar signs around your wrists?
That keeps me motivated to do my probation.
All right, just a second. All right, so obviously people don't understand. We are on the record. So if you cannot whisper, then you need to stop talking or talk outside. I don't understand why people talk so loud when they're in the gallery, and then when they're before me, I'm straining to hear you. All right. So what's up with the dollar signs on your wrist?
I got these tattoos years back, like before '99, and I haven't not got any other tattoos since. I've been basically, I worked, I've had probation before, I completed it before in the other court.
Mhm, but not here.
This one I was just, I was kind of shocked on it, but I mean,
What do you mean shocked on it?
well, because I was picked up on how I was picked up, but I mean, I wasn't, like, I didn't get to come report because I just didn't show up. I just didn't, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you, sir. I mean, Honor.
Oh, I appreciate.
I have
I
a
appreciate
new
the honesty.
address that I could probably maybe if you grant it to go to. I talked to my mom on that. She said that she's willing to go ahead with it if you're willing to, if your judgment would apply. You know what I mean?
All right, I don't think you're a good candidate for probation.
Okay.
I tried. All right, we're
right.
gonna send it, I'm gonna, file,
Do I get credited for my back time?
just let me
Yes,
finish.
ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court is gonna revoke. The court is gonna sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility. You're entitled to any credit for any time previously served. There's to be restitution of $57 to SAPD for lab testing. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yeah,
And did you sign it?
yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, that jury on your fingers. I don't know what happened at the jail, but you're not supposed to have that on your fingers unless it's attached. The bringing over of food from the jail.
Yeah,
They shouldn't have allowed you to bring that over. We're not here for you to have a meal in court.
yes, Your Honor. I didn't
Even
know
when
what it
you-
was in there.
Here's the thing, even when you're held in the back, you're not allowed to get hot water and make your own soup dish. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're gonna have to start doing better. How old are you?
43.
You're 43. You're close to having the majority of your life behind you. If you don't want to wake up and see that you spent a majority of your life in prison, you better change your ways. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. So I get credited for my back time?
You'll get credit for any time that you've been in jail.
Okay.
Legally, you're entitled to
Okay,
it.
thank you. God bless you, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, thank
All
you.
right.
And I will learn how to pronounce your name.
Roque.
Are we sure it's Roque?
Roque.
All right, we have a lot of people saying Roque and they're rolling their R's. We're gonna see.
It's not Roque, it's Roque. Roque.
All right, how do you pronounce your name?
Roque.
See,
Roque.
he said it the same way I was saying it. I didn't even have to bring out my Eartha kit.
You were saying Roque.
Thank you. But Sean, you're the only person who's here for me. All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, we just learned that Mr. Roque has several cases that are sealed.
Mhm.
So we're waiting on those. And on this case that's already been indicted, the prosecutor, I'm sorry, I don't know, needs to,
Oh, that's Zach Dunn,
Zach.
but he's gonna be leaving us in 2 days, so you really don't have to learn his name.
Sean,
just-
that wasn't us. But Sean has
He's
my back
just-
too now.
You know what? He's just leaving us. And you know what? Here's the thing, Richard. He told everybody but me that he was leaving. Oh, and he didn't tell Deputy Laura.
I did too.
When she found out, I was like, really?
I didn't know details, but
Didn't tell Jessica.
details, you know, I told.
Jason, did you know,
Well, no wonder.
Jason, did you know Zach was leaving?
No, I did not. No, I just found out right now.
No,
Thank
come on.
you.
No, don't.
Oh,
Nobody
maybe that's
knew.
why he's passing the buck.
And then he's wearing I think that's Texas Longhorn colored tie or
feel like
something.
I should step in and
This
defend
is-
my man, Zach. He is a Reagan High School graduate.
But you know what?
This is my attorney.
Are you defending him with that tie?
does.
No, I mean, his tie.
Oh, whoa, okay.
He's trying to bring Longhorns up in
This is
here.
orange and blue, Your Honor. This
That
is
looks
wrong with
like
Longhorns?
Virginia. I don't know what that is.
UTSA Road Runners.
Oh,
Go
UTSA.
Runners.
There you go.
That's what he says. Just the other day, he was saying it was Longhorns.
No,
That is
UTSA.
actually not true.
Where's up ahead, probably? I don't know.
You know, we don't ask this kind of questions.
Okay.
We just- you know?
So where are you going?
Well, not to UTSA. I mean, I already graduated.
Right. But are you leaving the DA's
Intake.
office?
No, I'm
Okay.
going.
Okay, well, make sure you put a nice note that what you said earlier.
He didn't tell me, he told everybody else, except for me, Deputy Laura, Jason Gerhan. I don't think he told Daniel. Oh,
And Daniel didn't tell Jason.
That's just-
Yeah, that's more of a internal thing over there. I don't want to interfere with the chain of custody.
that is just so messed up.
Man.
Messed up.
Norma, did he tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
See?
He invited her to lunch.
Because it's so hard for me to say, Judge, it takes me a while to verbalize these things. You know, think about it, Your Honor, very similar to when, you know, people are talking when we're on the record. It's like we're always on the record. I'm whispering, Judge. I'm whispering this. I'm not able to speak it because I don't want to. I want to be here.
You
We'll
know what?
remember.
Zombie apocalypse is gonna come and somebody's gonna come knocking on the door. Who are you, sir?
That's right.
All right, so
So
the cases that are sealed, are these third-degree felonies, second-degree felonies?
One is the same, similar,
Mhm.
and he's indicted as a repeater on this case.
Okay,
So I imagine that if that one gets unsealed, it'll be a repeater as well.
and when are you expecting things to happen?
the intaker made a note on our case saying that they still need, there's evidence forthcoming on the sealed. And the other two sealed are misdemeanors, so I don't have any information on those two. That is the full scope of my
Oh,
knowledge.
so they're misdemeanors, so
Yes, Judge,
we'll just deal with the felonies here.
absolutely.
All right, on this case, Norma, reset this for September, late September,
30th?
September 30th. Are you gonna be traveling?
No, tomorrow.
Okay. Tomorrow?
I'm going back to Mexico City tomorrow.
Ah,
I'm homeless here, remember?
and then you just said you have a new place here.
So supposedly the lease says August 31st, and now it's October 15th.
You know what?
So I'm like freaked out. So I'm going to Mexico to cry.
Do I need to go over there with a hammer or
Yeah.
something and help it get in shape?
They're worried about the pizza oven or something. I don't know.
A pizza oven is holding up, moving into,
I don't know. I'm just so floored.
is it just a pizza oven for everybody or the pizza oven in your,
No, it's a pizza oven for everybody, but
it must be completed because, you know,
I've seen it. It's like this big.
somebody may want a pizza and say, you need to deduct from what I paid you because
Uh-huh.
the pizza oven isn't working.
So, and the alternative is to move to a low floor. And I'm like, well, I've already lived in a low floor. I want to live in a high floor.
Okay,
So I'm couch surfing.
all right, we'll be back on September 30th.
Okay.
And sir, if your attorney has everything before the 30th, he can always ask that it be placed on the docket before then. Do you have any questions about anything?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make sure that your counsel has all the discovery. Okay. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Zach promised that he was going to call your dad today or tomorrow before he leaves.
To be clear, I said the office will call them at a time in the future, and I stand by that. I stand by that.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Actually, you know what, Judge? No, I'm not sure I can thank you. Bro, I had to hire counsel on the spot.